Well, alrighty guys, as promised, we're on GTO today, and the GTO's up in the air, so that's cool. We got old Jesse here with us.
Yeah, man.
And Mr. Hoopty King himself.
As always.
And Jesse, before we get in this episode, man, tell us about this event that you got going on that's coming up.
Yeah, man. I'm having a car show. I've got a car club on Facebook called Hoopty Kings. Getting ready to have our first annual show. All the guys are going to get together. We're going to have it in Johnson City, Tennessee at VFW, Post 2108. It's going to be May 15th at 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We're going to have food. This thing's going to be there. His dad's F100.
Yep.
My Hoopty is going to be there. My 55. I'm going to drag it up there. Hopefully there's going to be a big crowd and we're going to have a good time. Live music. It's all for the veterans. I hope there's going to be money being made for them guys. I owe them everything I got. So if y'all are local around here, come on down. Have a good time, hang out, BS about life or BS about cars. That's what it's about.
Cool deal. Now, Jesse, you guys going to do an entry fee or anything like that?
No, it's going to be no trophies. It's just going to be straight up vibing all day. No, nothing competition. Nothing competition. I ain't going to please everybody. I'm just there for a good time and get together and keep it simple.
Right. I think the guys over at the VFW, they're trying to like get more awareness and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wanting to have a monthly show going on. So if we can swing that'd be great. We'll have a show once a month. So that way he wants to draw traffic into the VFW. He's lost a lot of people. He's trying to get more people coming and just help out the veterans. You know how it goes.
Well, that's cool, man. Jesse, I think that's really, really cool. We got that going on. We've been talking about this for a while behind the scenes, trying to get something together and stuff. Me and Jesse's been bouncing ideas off. I mean, everybody's kind of been involved in this, trying to kind of get something going. And Jesse is the main man behind this. He went above and beyond. He's been talking to a bunch of people, trying to get something together for this event and stuff. And I think it's going to be really cool. And yes, we will be there. GTO will be there.
That's it.
And we're going to be thrashing as hard as we can. So let's talk about what all we're going to be thrashing on here. So let's get into it. All right, so we've got the car up in the air, and as you can tell, the front end isn't on it. We'll talk about that here in just a minute on the front end. But we got a couple of oil lines that we've got to finish up underneath the car here. Hannah, if you want to zoom in on in here. This line here, we just finished it up here, and then we're going to plumb these two into the bottom of the tank right here. So this is very tight, very hard to kind of work around, and hopefully tomorrow we can have several lines done. The main goal of this is I want my lines kind of tethered together in here to where when you go to take this stuff apart, it's very easy to come out as an entire unit versus as intertwined into a bunch of stuff. So that being said, Hannah will go over here to the front side of the car, right over in here. All right, so this Peterson oil sump tank got moved from the other side over here to this side. So that changed some things, changed how our fittings was, and so we're having to kind of redo some stuff. But I think this is really going to make this work out a whole lot nicer for what we've got going on, and it's going to make things work out very, very clean here. So tonight, we're going to be thrashing really hard on fittings. I already know a couple of fittings that we're missing that we're going to have to send out another order to Mr. Joe at Auto Plumb and keep on rocking here. So
and all them funky fittings you was talking about.
All them funky fittings.
Off that one hole.
Yeah, we've got some really weird stuff that we got to do because of the tanks on this side now. If any of you guys have done a dry sump motor before, you'll understand how complicated this is. It's a little bit of a nightmare. So let's walk back here to the back of the car and show you guys something cool here. So let's get on back here.
Hanging off the wall.
That's right. So check this out right here. We now have our front end hanging up on the wall. This won't always be here. This was just for a time being to get it up and out of the way. This will most likely pretty much stay inside the race car trailer when we're working on the car and stuff in here. But we've got stuff we got to clean out of the race car trailer right now. and we got a bunch of stuff in there tonight. So it's the first time hanging up on the wall, and you guys have got to see it. All right, that's it.
Alrighty guys, man, we're going to do ourselves a lot of time lapses here on this video. These fittings take a lot of time to do. I think I averaged out between each line that I put on the car in this episode. It took me literally about 30 minutes for each one. And so I'm going to do a time lapse here. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my AN fittings together. Auto Plumb and also AEROFLOW has several instructional videos of how to put these fittings together. Biggest thing for me, I highly suggest making sure that you use AN wrenches. Go and buy you a good set, and invest in a good set of vise blocks. They're made out of plastic, and they work really well to keep your components good and unscratched there and undamaged. But I'm gonna walk you guys through one of the hoses I'm gonna build and show you guys how I've got this thing all set up. So let's rock and roll and let's have a good time.
Alrighty guys, so we're getting a lot of these oil lines run here. I figured I'd walk y'all through what the next one is that we need to do. So we're running our breather lines, okay? So see that fitting right there? We're going to 90 off of that, and we're going to tether it, or basically zip tie it to this line here, kind of arc down, and our other breather tube, we're going to tether it to this thing, okay? Kind of keep everything nice and clean. And once it kind of splits off from this one, it'll go over to the other side of this breather catch can right here, and we'll be all hooked up, and then those lines there will be done. So we're rocking and rolling here. It's looking pretty good. The primer is now plumbed up. All the lines are done on the primer. All the lines are done except for 2 lines on the oil pump. We need to order some fittings. We need a 90 and a 45 to 90 up here and 45 into this one right here. So we need to make that a little bit cleaner. This could work. I've got some straights, but it's just making it too tight and I'm not liking it. So we want to get all this stuff nice and clean, tether lines together that can be tethered together, and we'll be looking good here. So it's time to make some more hoses and get back at it here. All right guys, so this is a trick I've learned right here. When you go to run these hoses, all right, I've got one side that has been put together on a fitting, okay? I haven't done the other side yet, but I know we're going to be kind of running this hose kind of alongside this. We're going to arc down and we're going to tether it together in here, all right? And then we're going to split off. Now, went ahead and put a white line on it right there. You want to go ahead and take your fitting apart or where you need to cut the hose at and set the stuff up. And now your hose is going to be the correct length when you go to actually put it together. If you try to use a measuring tape from here all the way down and all the way into this fitting way over here, you're going to miss it every time. It's just how this stuff kind of works. You kind of need to build one side of it, put it on, run it where you want to go to, mark it, take it back off, go and put the fitting together, and come bring it back on, check everything, make sure everything's good to go. It's just the best way that I found how to do this, guys. So let's keep on rocking here, and let's make some stuff happen. All right, guys, so check it out, man. We got these things tethered together with some zip ties. Kind of show you guys how I do this. You take 2 zip ties, okay, and you put them side by side, and you take another one to hold them both together, okay? You can see down here, here's another one's done that way. I've done the same thing right here. And if you set them up right, if you pay attention how you're doing it, see like how this one's all smooth, you don't even see how they're put together if they're on the bottom side. That's the best way to do it right there, and it looks really clean, and it's super cheap, okay? It's super easy to do, super cheap method of keeping stuff clamped together. And look how tight that is. Look how nice that is right there. And you don't want hoses flopping everywhere, okay? Especially AN hoses that are stainless, all right? I've got a mixture of both. I've got both stainless lines and I've got some of these nylon lines. The nylon lines, I like these better because they don't scratch everything to death, compared to like what stainless ones do. All right. So if you got stainless ones, you extremely want to be careful, because if it's flopping, like let's say you got one rubbing up against your chassis and your chassis is powder coated, now it's beating it to death like this, and it's going to scratch it wherever it's rubbing at. So you kind of want this stuff all tethered together real nice and clean like, and also when you go take stuff apart, it stays where you need it to stay at and stuff. And if you do need it to come completely off, cut this with a wire cutters, boom, now you can get the whole hose off, and it's super cheap to put the clamp back on there, top deal. So that hose turned out really nice. You can see both of those are tethered together very, very nicely. They split off and both connect into here. So we're looking very, very nicely here. So again, we got our Peterson primer and remote oil filter and stuff all set up. We got our Peterson tank set up. We've got I've got a Moroso stage 4 pump on it, and we got all that stuff plumbed up except for this hose here. We got to order 2 fittings for it, and then the main supply hose from here to the bottom of the pump down there. I need a crazy looking 180 fitting. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. 180 fitting. It's got to go from the back side of this pump, kind of get around this tube, and then get over in here to this stuff. So I kind of had a little bit of a hectic of a mess there. But at the beginning of the video, we talked about tethering all these together. You can kind of see how all that looks there, and see how you can do them zip ties. And it really holds that stuff well together. I mean, check this out. Very, very nice and clean and strong, and it helps keep all that stuff put together. And especially if we need to take the pump off, okay, we just need to undo these fittings down here, right? We can take the whole pump off. Trying to get to these fittings on the bottom side is really, really rough. We'll look at it here from the bottom. See how tight all that is. It just depends on what you want to do. You can either take it off from down there, if you can get to it there, or you can take it off over here. Okay, so that's kind of what we got going on there. But we're rocking and rolling. Here's another area that I tethered down with the zip ties and stuff, and you can move these. See how I can get that out of the way there. See if I can do this one too. See there? Yeah, there you go. So see how clean that is, and it won't scratch a far out of your paint and stuff, and it works really, really nice. So that's what we had going on there today. Well, alrighty, guys, man, that's wrapping up today's episode. Definitely a big shout out to Mr. Jesse there. Man, I'm sure you guys could tell at the beginning of the video he was super, super tired. He's working his butt off as well, trying to make all these things happen. But yes, we are having a car show. It's going to be called the Hoopty Kings Car Show. Jesse has been putting all that together, and he's going to be having it at the VFW. Okay, so it's here in Johnson City, all right, Johnson City, Tennessee. If you're in the area, you got a hot rod, don't care if it's an import, if it's a muscle car, GTO, Chevrolet, Pontiac, whatever it is that you got, Ford, bring it on out. All right. We like motorcycles too. If you got a hot rod motorcycle, bring that thing out too. We got all kinds of stuff that we'd like to see come out. It's going to be a super cool hangout, and also it's to help the VFW, bring in more people. They're trying to get in more members and that sort of thing. And, I think this is really going to work out really, really cool. We will be there with the GTO. We're going to be thrashing as hard as we can to see if we can get this thing started for it. It's going to be close. I've been calling and ordering parts through Holly and stuff, but they're like 2 and 3 weeks behind on orders and getting parts to us and that sort of thing. So it's going to be really, really close. So we're going to thrash as much as we possibly can with as many parts as we can get in, and see where we can get with it, okay? If we can't get it running for the show, we'll still be there with the car. You guys can check out the progress. You can see it. You can come pick up yourself a t-shirt, okay? Definitely want to get some of those Freedom shirts, so you can support the GTO there. And we'll just be talking with friends and family and anybody who likes watching the YouTube episodes or checking us out on Facebook. So be sure and come and see us at the VFW, and we'll have ourselves a really, really good time there. But that's going to be it for me today. There's a lot of work that went in this deal. It really, really was. I'm very, very excited about it. Hopefully next week when we do another GTO episode, We'll do some more AN fittings, but hopefully we'll actually be starting to mounting the painless switches and maybe start doing some wiring stuff. We'll just have to see where we're at and what parts come in. Hopefully my Holley EGT kit will be here. I've been waiting on that thing for now 4 weeks. So we're really hoping that's gonna get here. So anybody at Holley, if you guys are watching, man, we really need that stuff to get here so we can wire this dude up. But hey, we're getting this thing along. We're getting this thing together as quickly as we can, and I'm very, very excited about it. So you guys stay tuned. Much, much more to come. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That is extremely, extremely, extremely important. If you don't know how to be subscribed to the channel, okay, all you have to do is look below the video on YouTube, okay? You have to be on YouTube to be subscribed, all right? And below the YouTube, it says subscribe, all right? If it's in red, that is really bad, all right? That means you are not subscribed, all right? But if it's in gray or if it's highlighted, then you know that you are subscribed, all right? That's super, super important. Another thing, commenting down below. This gets brought up a lot. I talk about it a lot. Commenting is extremely, extremely important for YouTube, okay? Just by you guys giving a thumbs up down the comment or saying, hey, Houston looking good, or I like what you guys are doing, you know, anything like that whatsoever really, really helps us out. Heck, even if it's negative, if you don't like what we're doing or you don't approve or that sort of thing, comment down below. It really helps our videos out a lot. Just as an example, we had an older video that me and Dad had done together. It was a Tech Tuesday video, and literally this thing went from 1,000 views, and just from a couple of comments within 2 weeks of time, it went to 10,000 views. So that's the reason why these comments are so important. That's why I try to comment back to every single person who does comment on our videos. It is really, really important to us that you guys comment down below, and I really do appreciate that. So yeah, that's the reason for that stuff. Definitely follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, just check us out, Houston Kilby, and don't forget to go to kilbymotorsports.com, get you one of these shirts. We sell all kinds of suspension brackets and suspension components, shocks, 4-link components, 4-link bars, rear end housings, front end housings, all that stuff. You 4-wheel drive guys, you guys have seen that this past week of us building a Ford 9-inch. We make that as well. But guys, that's it for me. Enough talking. I'll see you guys later.